Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week at Bungie, we're summoning some ghosts. Next week, we're getting spooky up in the tower again. Festival of the Lost returns on October 6th for more fright-filled fun. This year's festival is going to rock. Yeah, guys, we covered it earlier. Feel free to check out our video, pretty much going over the details and requirements for this year's Festival of the Lost. Now, Eva Levante, or as you all affectionately call her, Space Grandma, has returned to the tower to lead Guardians in a celebration of those we've lost. We miss you, Kate. The Haunted Forest is back and filled with ghoulish enemies. This year, we've added 5 chests to the end of the activity for 5 times the loot. To open the chests, you're going to need some cipher decoders. Talk to Spider to get started, and then they will drop from playing any of your favorite activities across the solar system, similar to Umbral Ingrams. Also, the Braytech Werewolf and Horror Story will both be rewarded from these chests and each have new perk combinations to hunt for. I mentioned it earlier, though, in our community post, and DMG actually tweeted it out. I think Horus Lease and its perk combinations is correct. The Braytech Werewolf, though, is not correct. Something's going on with the API. I thought something was up. That's why we didn't really talk about it, because there's just so many different perks that are available on this weapon, which just didn't sit right. The fact that you could potentially roll double tap the trigger looked kind of sketchy, you know what I mean? Regardless, I don't know when the right rolls are going to be posted. For the Braytech Werewolf, it might not actually refresh until Festival of the Lost goes live. Now, moving on. You've probably been hearing this a lot lately, but it goes double for Festival of the Lost. Don't forget to put on your mask. There are new masks available this year, as well as some favorites from the past. Eva has a Masquerader helmet, which you can apply your mask to as an ornament before you head out to the road to start stockpiling candy. These mask mods for the Haunted Forest also returned from last year's events. Definitely made it worth using these masks. Think like Mayhem inside of PvE. Now, before we wrap up the event on November 3rd, you're going to want to complete 3 of the triumphs for opening chests in the Haunted Forest. Once you finish off the required triumphs, you'll be able to trade in some of your candy for a mummified exotic sparrow, ship, and ghost. Ah, look at that. It's a ship wrapped with bandages, super mummified, space mummies. Now, finishing the wrap and ready triumph required to get the exotic ghost also unlocks the ability to purchase the Restless Ghost Shell pin through the Bungie rewards. Yeah, so for my people that like to collect pins, voila. Now, speaking of Bungie rewards, we also have a terrifying new emblem available for free if you finish the initial quest during Festival of the Lost, and that's this creepy one right here. Look, look, look. Got the pyramid ships. Look at that. The darkness. That's the gist of it. But here are a few quick notes that may answer some questions you have. You need to have a minimum power to enter the Haunted Forest of 750. You can hold up to 25 cipher decoders before you need to open some chests in the Haunted Forest. There will be both earnable masks and masks available for silver and bright dust. Any triumphs involving masks do not require masks from the Eververse. Bounties will return from last year and will once again offer bright dust. All new Eververse items will be available for both silver and bright dust, except for the 1-inch punch finisher, which will be available for silver only. Also, the toothbrush is still just a toothbrush. All right, guys, that's Festival, man. It will be here next week. Moving on, direct relief. It seems like 2020 has been one disaster after another. It's easy to get discouraged when times get tough, but the desking community always comes together to support those in need. Here in the United States, more than 500,000 people have been evacuated from their homes across California, Oregon, and Washington. There have been entire towns devoured by flames, and there has been a serious impact on the respiratory health of millions of individuals in and around those areas. Now, the Bungie Foundation is once again supporting the relief efforts, going directly to the communities that are being affected here, which is why the empathetic Ghost Shell pin will be available for sale from October 1st through the 15th. All proceeds, or I guess all profits from the sale, will be going toward these relief efforts. You also get an emblem with it. So yeah. Dude, I need to be more of an emblem collector. I got people, though, that go crazy over some sexy emblems. Really, if you're one of the communities that's being affected by these forest fires, God bless you. Stay safe. Hopefully, whatever small contribution we make here will affect you positively, but you're definitely in our thoughts. Now, moving on. Double Ordeal is back again. Yes, Festival of the Lost is not the only reason to log in next week. Oh my God. It's a great time to stock up on enhancement prisms and ascendant shards for your masterworking needs, as well as to grab any missing missing exotics or upgrades to a better stat roll. The strike will be a garden world, so watch out for those killer robots. Yeah, so the last Nightfall ordeal that was double loot was Lake of Shadows, and it was perfect. We're talking sub 15-minute runs for Grandmaster. I don't think we're gonna get to that level here with Garden World. It is more difficult. This may be the week you want to do Masters instead of Grandmasters. And I know there's cheeses and there's ways to at least cheese the boss room, but honestly, that wasn't the difficult part about a Garden World. It was just getting to the boss room. Now, somehow, some way, I've already blown through all my enhancement prisms and ascendant shards. I've just been upgrading everything left and right, or at least my exotic pieces. So yeah, I'm gonna have to run this. Hopefully we could scrap together a PvE squad, but if not, come by my Discord, man. Might tap on your shoulder one night and say, hey, you wanna get nasty in the garden with me? Now, Festival of the Lost might bring about some issues. I love this. This is actually a pre-bug report, which we normally don't see. During the events, players may encounter the following issues. Inspecting a cipher decoder will incorrectly display masterwork versions of the Braytech Werewolf and Horror Story auto rifles as potential Haunted Forest cash drops. The Wrapped and Ready Festival of the Lost Triumph refers to the Restless Shell as the Mummy Ghost, when it should be called the Festival of the Lost Ghost. Also, the lower half of the Warlock Blood Lineage Robes Universal Armor Ornament will experience a visual texture error at launch of Beyond Light. This issue will be resolved in a patch soon after the release. Oh, pre-bug report, right? Jesus. Can you imagine being the troubleshoot guy in a game like Destiny? I feel like your department would be on fire 24/7. Just always on fire. Now, Cosmo leaves us with a final note. I love this time of the year. Anytime it's socially acceptable to put on a costume and eat sweets until you get a stomachache is a good time. It's extra fun if you have kids' pets to dress up. Can't wait to also start dressing up my hunter next week as well. I'm gonna make him look so hideous that it gives DMG a stomachache. Love Cosmo. That should be good, man. Yeah, Halloween's a fun time, dude. My kid is just old enough to really enjoy it. We got him his costume earlier and he demanded to wear it yesterday. And it was still September, but he's rocking that Mario costume. And I know you can't tell from here, but the Mario costume also has a pot belly, which is amazing. Looks like I'm gonna have to play Luigi though this year. Should be a fun time. Guys, y'all been amazing. Thank y'all so much for always coming in for these TWAB videos. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. We cover the TWAB and pretty much everything Destiny related when it comes to the news. I know right now might seem slow, and it might seem that way because it is slow. It's slow right now, but we do have Beyond Light right around the corner. I think some of us were hoping to get a date for the raid. I was, especially today. Maybe we're gonna get that next Thursday. It's got to be soon. Hopefully we get that date though, on top of some Sandbox changes being announced. DMG's already pointed out that some point in October, they're gonna talk about 110 round per minute hand cannons. And I think what's actually gonna be included, we're gonna see some subclasses probably get a retuning. Archetypes like 110s are probably gonna get a buff, but I honestly think we're gonna get a pulse rifle buff. I think it's gonna happen, fellas. I know. Some of you are like, oh God, really? Dad rifles? Come on, man. But I think it's gonna happen, whether you want it or not. Really, really though, guys, y'all been amazing. Fellas and ladies, thank you so much for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.